fine. One day when I came home at lunchtime, I heard a funny noise. Went out to the backyard to find out if we was one of those ratty boys. Stood there with my neighbor called Peter in a flux capacitor. He told me he built a time machine like one in a film I've seen. Yeah, he said I've been to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but they lived underwater. And your great-great-great-granddaughter is doing fine, doing fine. He took me to the future in the flux thing, and I saw everything. Boy bands, and another one, and another one, and another one. And girls there with brown hair like Star Wars, float up on the farm. We drove around in a time machine like what in a film I've seen. Yeah. He said I've been to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but they lived underwater. And your great-great-great-granddaughter is doing fine, doing fine. I took a ship to the year 3000. This song had gone multi-platinum. Everybody bought our 7th album. It had out so Kelly Clarkson. I took a ship to the year 3000. This song had gone multi-platinum. Everybody bought our 7th album. He told me he built a time machine like one in a film I've seen. Yeah, been to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but they lived underwater. And your great-great-great-granddaughter is doing fine, doing fine. He said I've been to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but they lived underwater. And your great-great-great-granddaughter is doing fine, doing fine. He said I've been to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but they lived underwater. And your great-great-great-granddaughter is doing fine, doing fine. So I've been to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but they lived underwater. And your great-great-great-granddaughter is doing fine, doing fine. One day when I came home at lunchtime, I heard a funny noise. Went out to the backyard to find out if we was one of those ratty boys. Stood there with my neighbor called Peter in a flux capacitor. He told me he built a time machine like one in a film I've seen. Yeah, he said I've been to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but they lived underwater. And your great-great-great-granddaughter is doing fine, doing fine. He took me to the future.
Please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. welcome to RPtv. Today is Thursday, September 19, 2019. Our top story this morning focuses on a new health concern that is affecting young people across the state. Let's go to Callie for that report.
Due to the recent popularity between today's youth and vaping, the state of New Jersey is putting together a new tax law to potentially get rid of this pastime altogether. State Senate President Stephen Sweeney has called for legislation to see a phased-in ban on electronic smoking devices, including nicotine cartridges and containers, as well as all other vapor products. And although there is more than 250 vape shops in New Jersey, there has been more than 450 cases of illness connected to vaping and e-cigarettes. In conclusion, prepare to see a breakdown on this vaping epidemic in the near future.
Make sure you get yourself ready for this year's Six Flags Great Adventure Fright Fest. Not only will you find the traditional monsters, creatures, and zombies, but you know there will always be something new. Caitlin has that report.
As Halloween creeps closer, Six Flags is coming back with their 30-hour coffin challenge. Only applicants 18 and above can join, and Six Flags will be selecting 6 people to participate. These 6 people will have to stay in a coffin with mesh for breathing for 30 hours, stepping out only for 13-minute bathroom breaks every 3 hours. The challenge will start on October 13th at 2:30 p.m. and end on October 14th at 8:30 p.m. According to Six Flags, there have been live bugs, pungent food items, and trivia in the challenge, with snakes, spiders, skunks, and a looping playlist that includes Baby Shark. The grand prize for the 30-hour coffin challenge is $600, 2 Six Flags Gold passes, and 2 Fright Fest passes. Is it worth it? That is up to the 6 contestants that Six Flags will choose, and we wish them all good luck.
Now it's time for announcements. For anybody interested in joining the Spanish Club, there will be a meeting today. Join us after school in room 5. If interested, see Ms. Almanzar. Future Health Careers Club. All are invited to come check out the club. First meeting is today at 2:45 in the library. Anime Club. Meeting today after school in room 105. For anybody interested in joining the French Club, we will have our first meeting today. Join us in room 3 after school. All are welcome. See Madame Nezius. Art Club and National Art Honor Society will have their first meetings on Friday, September 20th in room 102 after school. Everyone who would like to join us is welcome. Check it out. Dance Club will have their first meeting on Tuesday, September 24th in the auditorium at 2:45. No experience needed. Everyone who would like to join us is welcome. Please see Ms. Dombrowski if there are any questions. Lost and found. 2 necklaces were found in the office. One is gold and one is silver. Come to the main office to claim. The Borough of Roselle Park is hosting its 5th annual Festival of India on Saturday, October 5th, 2019, from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. with an annual celebration and cultural fair. Free event begins with the taste of traditional Indian food from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. in the cafeteria. At 7 p.m., the festival continues with presentations and later followed by Garba and Raz, traditional Indian dances in the gymnasium, and live music by Desi Beats Entertainment. Today at 4 p.m., there is a boys varsity soccer game, home versus Abraham Clark. There is a boys JV soccer game, home versus Abraham Clark, and there is a girls varsity tennis match versus Cranford home. The Roselle Park football season is underway, and this year we will see the return of the varsity team. It will be a busy road season for the Panthers, so make sure you get on board to support the team. Let's go to Callie for that report.
Veteran head coach Terry Henrati will be conducting mainly a road show this season, as his Panthers are set to play only 2 of their 9 regular season games at home. But acknowledging that there is a show of any sort is a big news in this small pocket of Union County. Roselle Park varsity football is back after canceling its entire 2018 season due to unsuitably low numbers among the upperclassmen. 2 years ago, Roselle Park flaunted a stingy defense that allowed only 20 total points through the first 4 games and held 6 opponents to 1 touchdown or fewer. The team hopes to return to that level of stubbornness behind the leadership of Williams, D. Gillick, Taco Hernandez, and linebackers Estevin and Antonucci.
Thanks for watching RPtv. Have a great day and stay tuned for CNN 10.
Results are coming in from Israel's second general election in 6 months' time, but there are still some questions about the country's leadership going forward. That's our first story today on CNN 10. I'm Carl Azus. Thank you for watching. It was a close race. It could be days before the certified tally comes in, with votes still arriving from Israelis in other parts of the world. And it could be weeks before the nation knows who its prime minister will be going forward and what its government looks like. The vote is being watched around the world because Israel is a close ally of the United States. Israel has several rivals in the Middle East, and the policies of Israel's government help shape the peace process between Israelis and Palestinians. Election results and the path forward for Israel's government are uncertain. There are dozens of political parties in the country, and no one party got the minimum 61 seats that are necessary to hold a majority in parliament and choose Israel's prime minister. So coalitions have to be formed, groups of parties that agree to work together. And based on the results of Tuesday's election so far, it looks like the party of former Israeli military leader Benny Gantz won 32 seats, one more seat than the party of incumbent Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So each of these men is doing all he can to convince a coalition of parties to support him to get to that 61-seat threshold and press forward with governing Israel. A CNN Global Affairs analyst says if neither of them can form that coalition, another third election could be held in January, or the different parties would have to come together in a national unity government when rival challenges of an electronic landscape that's always changing. Smartphone sales, for example, are on the slide. People aren't upgrading as often as they used to, and some are opting for cheaper phones. The world's largest smartphone maker is Samsung. It's feeling that pressure. It's also dealing with fallout from its products that failed in the past, like the Galaxy Note 7. Some of those were prone to catching fire. The South Korean company could also suffer from a trade dispute that its nation has with Japan. And one of Samsung's leaders is fighting charges of bribery. So the company is fighting headwinds as it fights to stay ahead of its competition.
These days, Samsung is in a constant state of crisis. At least that's how the company would describe it.
We believe the crisis is our opportunity for our future growth. The innovation is our job.
For Samsung, crisis seems to equal innovation.
One thing that Samsung is very good at is they're very, very aggressive in the way they approach the technology space. Sometimes a bit overly aggressive, but in the grand scheme of things, it's good because it keeps them on that leading edge of technology.
Here in the secretive labs of this South Korean company's headquarters, engineers are searching for Samsung's next big thing. Okay. This is the digital cockpit.
We would like to bring the mobile experience inside the vehicle as much as possible.
You want to turn a car into a mobile phone?
That's right, that's right.
Here's the thing. Samsung sees a near future where cars are driving themselves, and drivers, well, they will need entertaining.
This vehicle shows you what Samsung can do.
5 years ago, Samsung wasn't a player in automotive infotainment, But by 2016, it spent $8 billion to acquire US-based Harman. And just 2 years later, Samsung became the world's #1 distributor in the industry, with about $5 billion in revenue, according to analysts.
Ah, this is the lab.
Yeah, this is our lab.
And you're the robot guy.
Right.
Elsewhere on campus, teams are working on healthcare technology, a relatively new field for Samsung. In 2010, the company released its first medical device in a calculated bid to turn healthcare into a new growth engine. Recently, Samsung is focused on sensors and wearables. These robot guys developed a product they call the Gait Enhancing Motivation System, or GEMS.
Doesn't feel heavy.
Those are sensors located on my hips. They measure the angles created by the distance each of my legs moves in a typical walk, and then motors lift my legs based on that personalized gait, giving my muscles a big boost.
Oh, goodness. It just kicks up my feet.
The team believes this could one day help elderly and disabled users with physical therapy and exercise. Samsung has its eyes on the exoskeleton industry, which analysts say could be worth nearly $6 billion within the next decade. Nearby, another engineer is developing technology to help the visually impaired see. To show me how it works, I'm more or less blinded with these half-opaque glasses.
It's very blurry. I can't see anything.
Then given a VR kit paired with the Samsung phone and the app.
Oh, I see.
The software's algorithms help detect even the faintest outlines and also invert colors and enhance contrast so you can see.
This is incredible.
Why something on top of it?
For executives like Kim, the lab itself is Samsung's real innovation.
They are creating startup culture inside Samsung. So we want to make our culture different.
As global smartphone sales decline, the world's #1 smartphone maker needs a new blockbuster product. It's racing to innovate, but not to market. In the wake of several failed product launches, including the first rollout of its latest Galaxy Fold, Samsung may now recognize the need to balance speed with execution.
10-second trivia. Despite its name, a glowworm is actually a type of what? Cockroach, beetle, planarian, or arachnid? Surprisingly, glowworms aren't worms at all. They're actually beetles. I've said before, I've learned so much working on this show. It was on a trip to New Zealand that our friends at Great Big Story found a sight to see where there isn't much light to see at all. Limestone caves are typically deep, dark places. That makes them perfect to see the work of glowworms, which use their light to attract a mate or attract a meal.
150 feet underground, in 30-million-year-old caves. An unforgettable sight glitters in the dark. The Waitomo glowworm caves in New Zealand are home to about 30,000 endemic Arachnocampa luminosa glowworms. They spend their days spinning silk nests from the ceilings, and then lowering threads to fish for prey, much like a spider. The luminescent bead-like strings are spellbinding. The glowworms use light to attract prey and burn off waste. The glow is created by a combination of chemicals given off by the glowworm and the oxygen in the air. The caves are ideal for the worms, as they need a dark, damp location where their light can be seen. The Waitomo caves they call home are named after the Maori words wai, which means water, and tomo, which means hole or shaft. And although they live deep underground, the journey to see them is never one to disappoint.
Waffles and Hemingway. Sounds like an art film no one wants to see. It's actually the name of this pair. Waffles is the miniature horse and Hemingway is the goose. They were rescued from a property in bad shape a couple months ago. Since then, they've been inseparable. and that could have been a problem for a farm looking to adopt only one of them. Well, a new owner was found, and both Waffles and Hemingway get to stay together at their new home. So thankfully, no one waffled on the decision to give them a Hemingway to stay friends, because whether they're horsing around or goosing up their stable, they have a honkin' good time with the main man and the spruced goose singing along in the barnyard, staying true to farm and being good for the gander. I'm Carl the Goose, out of puns and out of time on CNN 10.